was a dark and stormy night. The kind of night that makes you walk fast and keep looking over your shoulder. A night with secrets hiding in the shadows. Something fishy was going on, and the townspeople were talking. There was a mystery brewing, and it was going to take some detective work to find out what happened and why a certain person was missing.
I'm telling you, he's gone, vanished, disappeared.
What are you talking about? People don't just disappear, at least not without help.
Nobody has seen or heard from him in days.
Well, the guy was always preaching at people.
True, but I'm telling it to you straight. One day, Jonah was here. The next day, he was gone.
He probably upset somebody. Maybe they grabbed him.
Yeah, that might be it. But vanished into thin air? It's spooky. If you ask me, this whole thing is downright mysterious.
There's nothing like a mystery with secrets and skullduggery, with plans and schemes and foils and plots and clues that tie our thoughts in knots. Jonah really is not here. Something made him disappear. We need to figure out what's what and give this problem our best shot. They say God works in mysterious ways that we can't figure out. They say God works in mysterious ways, and that's what faith's about. They say God sees a path ahead when we just see a maze. There's nothing like a mystery, and God works in mysterious ways. God works in mysterious ways. There's nothing like a mystery, with cold bricks full of treachery, with lies and tries and tricks and lies, and other things that aren't so nice. Time is of the essence here. Clues can quickly disappear. Years is just around the bend to bring this story to an end. They say God works in mysterious ways that we can't figure out. They say God works in mysterious ways, and that's what faith's about. They say God sees the path ahead when we just see a maze. There's nothing like a mystery, and God works in mysterious ways. God works in mysterious ways, in mysterious ways, in mysterious ways, in mysterious ways.
Did you hear that? Those people were talking about Mr. Jonah.
Yeah, he sounds like he's in trouble.
Maybe we could help find him. You know, investigate, follow the evidence, question his friends.
Yeah, right, like adults are going to talk to us.
Not the adults. We'll talk to the kids around here.
Great idea. Kids hear everything.
So, we might be able to locate Mr. Jonah. But first, we need to round up the usual suspects.
Talk came easy. Finding answers was harder. The search led to the shadowy warehouses, joints, and dives around the port of Joppa.
Hannah, come over here a minute. I know lots of the dock workers need that your family's in. Did anything unusual happen lately?
The other day, I was helping my mother serve up the stew when this weird-looking old man came in and sat down. He was raving about how God told him to go to Nineveh and preach to the people over there.
So that's where he is.
No, he said he wasn't going. Said he didn't like the Ninevites. He said he was afraid if he preached, they'd repent and God would save them.
Well, isn't that the way it's supposed to work?
I don't know.
The Ninevites are Gentiles. They aren't like us. They are our enemies. Maybe that's why Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh.
So if he didn't go to Nineveh, then where did he go?
He got on a ship going to Tarshish.
Now that's important, because Nineveh is to the east, and Tarshish is to the west.
I can tell you one thing, that guy was running from God as fast as he could.
So Jonah's in Tarshish. That's not foul play. He just ran away.
Pretty dumb thing to do. Jonah's a prophet. He should have known better. That whole thing sounds kind of fishy to me. Hey, Ben, come here. You work on the ships, don't you?
Yeah, I'm cabin boy on that ship over there. We just got back from Tarshish.
That's great. Did anything unusual happen on the trip?
Yeah, this old guy, Jonah, came on, and the first thing he did was go below and go to sleep. That's really strange. Passengers usually stay on deck until we sail.
After you sailed, did anything happen then?
Boy, did it. The storm came up so quick we didn't have time to batten down the hatches. Wind was howling, waves crashing, wind, stuff was blowing everywhere. I was scared to death.
Did you see Jonah?
Not until the captain brought him up on deck and told him to start praying.
Did that help?
Not exactly.
Captain ordered us to cast lots to see whose God was causing the storm. And the lot fell to Jonah. He said he worshiped the Lord God of heaven. And everybody knows that the Supreme Lord is always the master of the seas.
Did the storm stop then?
Not exactly. Jonah told us to throw him overboard, but the crew didn't want to do that, so they tried to row the boat ashore, but they couldn't, so they finally threw him into the sea.
And he drowned, right?
Not exactly.
We looked over the side of the boat and saw this great, big, dark shadow. I mean, it was as big as the boat. And then Jonah just disappeared. It's like the sea just swallowed him up. And that's when the sun came out and the storm stopped.
So you and the crew were the last ones to see Jonah alive?
I guess so.
Well, thanks for your help, Ben.
I think we're done here.
What?
Jonah drowned. No crime was committed. There's no body. It's elementary. You have illuminated the impossible. Whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
Not exactly.
Okay, mister, let's have the truth. Who are you? Where have you been? What's the last thing you remember? And why do you smell like that?
It'll go easier for you if you come clean now.
Okay. My name is Jonah. God told me to go to Nineveh, but I went to Tarshish instead.
We already know that.
I was on this boat, and there was a storm, and they cast lots. I knew it was my God who caused the storm, so I told his crew to throw me overboard, and they did.
We already know that, too. What we want to know is exactly what happened once you fell in the water. Details. We need details.
There are some stories a man needs to keep to himself. Stories better left untold. Stories so bizarre, no one would ever believe them.
I woke up in the darkness, long way from my home.
Ooh, you were in the darkness a long way from your home.
I knew I was in trouble, knew that I'd done wrong.
You did something really messed up, really wrong.
Lord, please come and put me back where I belong.
Ooh, you need some help, do you not, Mr. Jonah? Belly of a fish in the middle of the sea.
I had the blues on Monday, blues on Tuesday too.
2 days of the blues, Mr. J.
They hung around till Wednesday. Lord, I'm calling you.
3 days of the blues. It gets really bad here.
I need your forgiveness, mercy did I do.
Oh, poor Mr. Jonah, come on. Oh, you need a rescue, Mr. Jonah, honey.
Tell my part of the story?
No matter what you do to hide it, the truth always has a way of rising to the surface.
Who are you?
I am the missing piece to this puzzle, the big fish. And I'm going to tell you what really happened. You see, I missed breakfast, and I never miss breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day. Anyway, I was hungry, and I might have said just a tiny little prayer asking for something to eat. A morsel. Nothing fancy, you understand? And then I saw this thing sinking into the sea, and I thought my prayers had been answered. So I swallowed it. Usually I can eat anything, no problem. But that thing, oh, where are the Tums when you need them? On top of that, it was noisy, crying, moaning, rumbling around in my stomach. You could hear it for fathoms. And here's the kicker. It kept running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was making me seasick. I couldn't stand it anymore, so I threw it up. I've learned my lesson. No matter how hungry I get from now on, no more profits for me.
Okay, thank you for that information. So thanks to the big fish, you ended up on the beach. Where have you been since then?
I went to Nineveh, I preached, they repented, God spared them, end of story.
Not so fast. Tell them what happened next.
Who are you?
Don't pay any attention, that's just a worm.
I prefer a small, elongated, non-hairy, soft-bodied animal, Sensa for short.
What do you know about this?
Plenty. Jonah preached all right, but when God spared the Ninevites, he was so mad that he went and sat in the shade under a gourd vine. Then God sent me to cut it down, but Jonah just sat there and pouted.
Pouted? Prophets aren't supposed to pout.
I'm just telling you what happened. So there you have it. The tale of a man caught up in a whirlpool of circumstance. But if you want the story all tied up with a bow, don't look for a motive. Look at the character. I mean, Jonah was narrow-minded, stubborn, judgmental, grumpy, petty, prejudiced, and pig-headed. In other words, human. The perfect candidate for a miracle.
You don't have to be the perfect one to God's will and get some great things done. Just be willing now to do your part. You don't have to be the smartest one after all is said and done. You just have to be waiting with an open heart. It's a miracle what God can do. Working with folks like me and you, hearts and souls are changed, lives are rearranged. It's a miracle what God can do. You don't have to have superpowers, X-ray vision, or some cosmic showers. Just be willing now to give your all. You don't have to have nerves of steel, be educated or just chill. You just have to be there to hear them call. It's a miracle what God can do. Working with folks like me and you, hearts and souls are changed, lives are rearranged. It's a miracle what God can do.
Here comes our part. Here we go. And we can be part of the plan.
To follow through what God began,
And with God's love
and with God's love,
and with God's grace,
and with God's
we have the power.
we have the power to make the world a better.
Oh, sing it again. Be part of the plan to follow through what God began. And with God's love and with God's grace, we have the power to make the world a better place. And we can be part of the plan to follow through what God began. And with God's love the power to make the world. One more time and we can follow through what God began, what God